Hey y'all, and welcome to PolitiBrawl. My name is Brian, and Tucker Carlson completely exposes this creepy lawyer that was trying to defend Stormy Daniels, and of course, the whole thing blows up right in Michael Avenatti's face. Let's dive in.
So let me ask you, I'm a little confused. So you're the protector of Stormy Daniels. Stormy Daniels is right now working in strip clubs in little towns on stage. People are throwing things at her. You're wearing a $1,000 suit. Why are you not paying her? You've profited from Stormy Daniels. You've done tens of millions of dollars worth of free media on the basis of your relationship with her, and she's working in strip clubs. You're exploiting her, and you know that. Why aren't you paying her some of what you're making?
Sir, this is absurd.
It's not absurd. Those are the facts.
No, you don't know the facts, as evidenced by the fact that
Is she working in strip clubs?
Are you going to continue to interrupt me, or are you going to let me finish?
I do know the facts, actually.
No, you don't, because you just demonstrated your ignorance, because you didn't even know Michael Cohen pled to 2 felonies associated with the campaign finance violations.
I don't believe that what Cohen did, and I'm not defending Cohen, I never have, was a campaign finance violation. I think it's absurd. I think it's absurd.
He pled guilty to 2 felonies.
Okay, so everyone who pleads, look, this is a stupid, we have an honest disagreement. I don't think it was a campaign finance violation. Stormy Daniels was to perform in Richmond in a depressing strip club. This hero that you say you're protecting, you're her protector. Why is she working in seedy strip clubs while you're on television wearing expensive suits? Why are you not exploiting her? Why is she doing that?
Because she wants to, Tucker.
And she wants to have people throw things at her.
This is America. And guess what? If a woman wants to perform in a strip club, she does so.
But you're getting rich.
I'm not getting rich. Even though people like you demean her.
I'm not demeaning her. You're the one who's profiting.
You're the one that refers to her consistently as a porn star, and as to me as a creepy porn lawyer. And meanwhile, you give the president. Meanwhile, you give the president a pass who had unprotected sex with the porn star with a 4-month-old son at home.
Well, you are a moralizer for a guy who does what you do.
No,
but you are though. You are a little moralizer. You're like, we're in church now with a 4-month-old son. Okay, I'm officially shocked by Donald Trump's behavior. I had no idea. It blew my mind. But answer my question. Why are you rich and your client is working in seedy strip clubs?
Sir, do you have any idea how much money I've earned from
You're on every cable show. You're running for president now.
You have no idea.
Well, I know that you haven't paid your taxes because you've got over $1 million worth of...
ridiculous. You don't even know your facts.
It's not true that you have over $1 million in liens?
Facts, Tucker.
Look, I'm just saying, why is she still...
How do you have a show and you're this ignorant? How is that
Here's
possible?
what I know for a fact is that your client is not thriving. And for you to look at me in the eye and say she wants to perform in strip clubs with people throwing stuff at her is insulting to her. People don't do that unless they have no choice, or she just likes it. Is that what you're saying?
Tucker, now you're the defender of my client. You don't know anything about
pathetic. You're exploiting her.
You don't know anything about my client. Exploiting my client.
I know that she's working in a strip club in Richmond.
You gotta let me finish. Can I finish?
Please do.
All right. I've done a remarkable job for my client, and she'll be the first one to tell you that. And had you listened to any of her interviews or seen any of her comments, you would know exactly what she thinks of me. I'm not done. I am not exploiting my client. I'm representing my client to the absolute.
So when she wants to get your legal advice, does she have to pretend to be a booker from CNN to get through to you?
You know, that's disgusting. Why don't you show
What's
some
disgusting
respect?
is
why don't you show some
thriving
respect to my client and me and stop calling us a porn star and a creepy porn lawyer? If you've got that big a problem with porn, do you have that big a problem with porn?
I'm not making fun of.
When's the last time? When's the last time you saw porn?
Oh, you busted me. Actually, maybe humiliation porn. That's why I watch you on CNN.
No, but when's the last time you? When's the last time you viewed porn?
You're a little creepier even than I realized.
Do you have a problem with porn?
You're dodging the question that I have asked you repeatedly.
Let me ask you a question. Do you believe that people that view porn should watch your show?
I'm not even sure what that question means, but I will say this, sincerely, that I have never attacked Stormy Daniels.
Yes, you have, repeatedly.
I think you are exploiting her, as I've said 5 times, and you haven't answered the question, which is, why is it that her life has stalled, and your life you're planning a new career as a politician, and like so many lawyers, you are taking advantage of her. And you pose as a feminist hero because you are shameless, and the other channels let you get away with it. But you're an exploiter of a woman, and you should be ashamed of it.
And you're
that is my. That is.
No, are you going to let me finish? You're going to let me respond?
We're out of time, and I give you more time.
Hypocrite.
More time than I promised
you. You don't know what you're talking about.
But it is nice to see you.
Yet again.
12 minutes. Creepy porn lawyer. Great to see you.
Well, folks, if the boot fits. Oh man, y'all, what's the difference between a catfish and a lawyer? One's a scum-sucking bottom dweller, and the other is a fish. Granted, that joke is a tale as old as time. In this case, well, like I said, the boot fits. This dude decided that it was going to be a great idea not only to represent Stormy Daniels, but unlike so many other celebrity lawyers who have successfully levied their position up into becoming basic celebrities themselves, Michael Avenatti, on the other hand, took a completely different direction. And instead of just self-aggrandizing himself, I hope I'm pronouncing that word correctly, but instead of helping out his brand, he's merely been enriching himself. He's been grifting on the entire Democrat platform, the mainstream media, DNC members, you name it, on their side, and they tried to give him a platform because it was a way to get back at Trump. And meanwhile, Tucker Carlson is out here speaking the truth to power that this dude sorely needs to hear. And that is, instead of helping his client get out of a potential money hole that she might be entitled to, instead he was out there enriching himself, helping his own brand. And unlike people like, who was the lawyer in the O.J. Simpson trial? I was too young to remember this. I don't even think I was alive during that trial. But I don't remember in the documentaries that I've seen how much that lawyer ended up making a lot of money and then putting himself out there. That dude was smart enough to know how to play both sides. This is worse than Al Sharpton levels of grift right here. And Tucker Carlson is correctly calling him out. Why is his client working in seedy clubs while he's out here with $1,000 suits doing a media tour circuit and making a ton of money? Because news organizations will pay you to come on those sorts of shows. It's like NCAA football. They'll pay those Division II and III schools, if you're in the SEC, they'll pay these schools a whole lot of money to come out and get blown out 63-7, all because it means more money for that program. Well, in this case, it also means representing himself in front of the American people. Because he did a poor job of not only defending himself, he did a poor job of defending his own client here. Tucker Carlson merely is asking the right questions. Why are you bothering to help yourself and not help your client? And this dude did not have an answer. And things have not changed in the time span since this came out. Some things just never change. Democrats will do what this dude has done time and time again, that is deflect and deny. He denies what he's actually doing, despite the fact that we have a paper trail of this dude making a ton of money off of Stormy Daniels. And then he's deflecting from the fact that, well, what are the facts of the case? And let's take a look in Tucker Carlson's closet. That is one creepy thing to do, and it's a weird way of basically saying that, hey, don't look over here, hey Peter, don't look over here while Paul's robbing you. Okay? This makes no sense to anyone with a modicum of objectivity, and in this case, if this dude was representing someone and I was a part of a jury, I would see through him quicker than I would see someone with saran wrap. Okay, this dude is not able to hide himself. He's not able to hide what he's doing. He is not able to hide the truth. And that's ultimately what ended up happening. And Tucker calls him out properly. He deserves, Avenatti deserved to be called out like this in front of the national media, in front of the largest audience in Fox News history, because that's the kind of ability Tucker Carlson had. He had the ability to get people to sit down and watch and pay attention to the news while asking the tough questions, getting the real questions, and unfortunately, he's not always able to get the real answer. Sometimes people like this will hide their intentions. They'll hide what they actually want, but in this dude's case, he can't hide it for much longer. Okay? He couldn't then, he can't now, and now he's an afterthought. Go ask a Democrat who Michael Avenatti is. They'll scratch their heads and go, who? We don't know. They would not have any idea who this guy is today. The dude failed to properly represent his client. He failed to make himself into a celebrity, at least long term, and he failed to beat Tucker Carlson at his own game. But what I have to respect the most is his deflection game. I've already talked a little bit about it, but talking about what Tucker does on his own laptop's time, Yeah, that's a creepy thing to bring up now, isn't it? Then talking about, well, Tucker, you clearly don't know all the facts. Whenever someone has that phrase, by the way, you can almost automatically assume that person is lying to you in some form or fashion. You don't have all the facts. That's usually what will happen whenever you're trying to talk to someone like about, I don't know, Abreu Garcia, for instance. The dude with alleged ties to MS-13 who had been picked up by immigration twice and then had 2 different judges say this dude needs to be deported because of alleged ties to MS-13. Okay? Oh, but we don't have all the facts. We need our due process. The same stuff continues in the Democrat sphere. It continues here today, and it continued back then when Tucker was dealing with this creepy lawyer. Tucker got the last laugh, and boy, did he deserve it. I have no idea how I'd be able to handle myself in that situation with such a charlatan. Tucker gave him his comeuppance, and oh boy, were we here for it. Folks, my name is Brian. Hope you enjoyed that segment here on PolitiBrawl. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Catch you on the next one. Until then, y'all have a good one.